In this video, we'll take a thermodynamics shopping trip to apply the first law to determine how much energy the human body dissipates in the form of heat. We'll also find out that it takes about the same amount of energy that's in 4% of a can of black beans to purchase a can of black beans. But to start out, we will revisit the equation in our last video that described the first law of thermodynamics. So we had the change in the energy of our system was equal to the heat interaction minus the work interaction. And in this case, our system is just our body, because we are the thing that we're analyzing. So the human body is constantly just dissipating heat, and so we're also doing a little bit of work. And in order to find that heat dissipation, we're just going to look at how much energy the human body takes in. So we consume about 2,000 food calories per day. And for the purposes of this video, we'll assume that the energy from those food calories is all dissipated as heat. And we need to convert the food calories, so 1 food calorie, to chemistry calories. And there's 1,000 chemistry calories in 1 food calorie. Next, we need to take the chemistry calorie and convert it to joules. And there's 4.187 joules per chemistry calorie. Now that we have the calories converted to joules, we'll convert the time in days to seconds. So we have that 1 day has 24 hours, and 1 hour contains 3,600 seconds. And now we'll go ahead and do this calculation. So we have 2,000 times the 1,000 times 4.187 divided by 24 divided by 3,600, which gets us the 96.9. So the heat interaction equal to the 96.9. And this is heat dissipation, so our system is losing heat. So we have to subtract, make it negative, and we'll look at the units. So food calories cancel out, joules stays there, days cancel out, and the hours cancel out. So we have joules per second. So this actually isn't just heat, it's heat with respect to time. And joules per second, we know, is watts, so 96.9 watts. Now that we have the heat dissipation by the body, we need to find the work interaction right here. So if we think about getting the can of black beans, imagine we really like pushing shopping carts. So if this is a shopping cart with some wheels, and we have our can of beans, and beans definitely says beans, and we're pushing with 15 newtons of force. If we also want watts, we'll actually go ahead and determine power, which is just that work over time. So the power is the work over time, and work is equal to just that force times distance over time, and this is just equal to force times the velocity, because distance over time gets us to velocity, and we have that 15 newtons, and let's just say we're traveling at 1 meters per second, so times 1 meters per second, and this gets us 15 watts. So we're using 15 watts of energy to push the cart, and we're using 96.9 watts just because our body dissipates heat. So we know that the change in energy of a system or of a body over time is equal to that negative 96.9 watts, and we'll subtract the 15 watts of the power that we're pushing the cart from. This gets us negative 111.9 watts. Now let's just estimate that our time to get that can of black beans takes about 10 minutes. We've got to find it. We're not really sure. It's a new market. And we know that 10 minutes is about 600 seconds. So we'll go ahead and multiply this 111.9 watts by that seconds in order to get the actual energy that our body consumes while we're shopping for this can of black beans. So we have that there's 111.9 times the 600 seconds gets us about 67,140. So this is equal to our energy consumption from our body, and that is 67,140 joules. And in order to find how much of the can of black beans it takes to actually buy the can of black beans, we'll have to convert these joules back to the food calories. So we'll just do the reverse calculation of 4.187 joules per food calorie for one chemistry calorie. And we saw in the last part that 1,000 chemistry calories was equal to a single food calorie. And this, we'll pull out our calculator, divide by 4.187 and divide by 1,000, gets us about 16 food calories. So 16 food calories. Now I just searched online, and a can of black beans, so black bean can, contains about 387 food calories. So 16 over that 387 gets us to, divided by 387, gets us to about 4.14%. So that means we need the same amount of energy that's in 4.14% of that can of black beans in order to fuel our purchase of the actual can of black beans. Thank you for joining me on this video. I'll see you in the next one.